Hey guys, it's Sam. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm kind of excited for today's video and also kind of terrified of it. As you guys can tell by the title, I decided I would do another Shop My Stash video because I had so much fun filming the last one. It gave me a really good opportunity to try a bunch of makeup that I haven't used in a while, go through a bunch and refine some old favorites. So this time I decided to let Tom shop my stash, and basically the way that it went down was, and I kind of filmed it for you guys, like I filmed him picking stuff out, was I would say, okay, here's my primers, pick out a primer. Here's my foundations, pick out a foundation. And he kind of went through and picked something for every category to, you know, so I could do my makeup today. It was really interesting to see what kind of things he picked. I mean, he picked a lot of stuff that I wouldn't have gone with, that I normally wouldn't use for what he picked it for, but we're just gonna roll with it. And you're gonna notice a serious theme here. He really likes red, so pretty much anything red that he could find, he was like, I like red, go with that one. And in terms of like this kind of a palette that has blush in it, he picked out a blush color. And in terms of the eyeshadow palette, you'll see in the clip, but I told him to pick like a couple colors out of whichever palette he ended up choosing. And you'll see in the clip, I'll talk about it a little bit when we get there. I don't want to give too much away. So let's get started. So first things first, of course, I asked him to pick out a primer.
Go with two Smashbox things. So this one, Smashbox, use these two.
So as you guys can see by the footage, he decided to go with two Smashbox primers because I told him, you know, you need to pick at least one primer, but you can pick more than one if you want. A lot of primers are for different things. His mom uses a lot of Smashbox, so I wonder if it's just because it's a brand he knew that he picked it. But that's what we're going for. So first he picked my Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer. So this is a primer and a moisturizer, which is awesome because I am super dehydrated today. My skin is super dry, so it definitely needs like a refresh. Also, you'll notice that in the clips that I show of him picking my makeup, it's just kind of his hands going through the drawer. That was completely on purpose. It's not that he, you know, is against coming on my channel or never will, but he worked from home all day and he was just about to go work out in the basement when I dragged him up here. So he was in like his workout clothes and he was not in a state where he wanted to be on camera. And then the other product I have is the Smashbox Photo Finish Radiance Primer. So this is kind of like a glowy primer. Oh, sorry, I thought I knocked a lid over. It's got a really nice color to it. It's kind of like a champagne-y sort of a color. And it does add a little bit of like a color to the skin. This isn't my favorite of my glowy primers, if I'm completely honest. I find that this one does kind of hang on to pores and the texture of your skin for some reason. Like, I don't know what that is. Also, I don't know why my face just got super duper red. I know that Primerizer water is like old, but having said that, I've used it a ton lately and it's never done this to me before, so hopefully I didn't give myself like a rash or something like that from using an old primer because holy Moses, my face is so red right now. So interestingly enough, for a foundation,
Let's go with that one.
he ended up picking out my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation, and I was laughing because for the first couple categories that I got him to pick out, he seemed to only, you know what, I won't even say for the first couple. Now that I'm looking, he only picked out high-end products, which is really funny, and he was constantly saying through the whole thing, like, you have so much makeup, you don't need this much makeup. So it was just really funny to me that he happened to pick out, like, my most expensive foundation. So as per normal, I've got some foundation just in my little like tin here, and I'm just using a foundation brush just to apply that foundation all over the face. And I do have a sponge as well so that if I feel the need to like blend it out a little bit more, I will go in with a sponge afterwards. I do find that sometimes this foundation can look a little streaky, can cling funny in weird places. It's not my favorite foundation for that, but I do love it. It gives the skin a beautiful effect when it's done properly. Also, for anybody who wondered, I am shade 4.5. It's funny because at the store, I remember the girl initially matched me to a lighter shade, like a touch lighter shade, and I was like, I like to wear darker foundations to make myself feel more tanned more often. Can we go up a color? And she was like, sure, whatever. You know, obviously she's not going to tell me no, but it was funny. She's like, oh, I totally get that. And I think I might have Tom at the point where he has agreed that for a video he will actually do my makeup. And he's funny because he takes a lot of pride in kind of what he does. And he thinks that he's like, what if I do your makeup better than you do your makeup? And I was like, well, we'll see about that. But it's totally possible because he is really good. Like, he doesn't do it very often, but like I've seen some of the drawings that he has done and he's really, really good at art. Like, he drew one of the one of his mom's tattoos, and he's done a lot of like painting, like not like painting pictures, but like on cars and stuff like that. So he thinks he's going to be really, really good at getting like a nice seamless blend, but we'll see. We'll see about that. We will be the judge of that when that actually happens. So for a concealer today,
this one because it's pink. Just one or two?
no, that one's fine. Of all the concealers he could have chosen, he went with my Benefit Boi-ing Hydrating Concealer in shade number 2. To be honest with you guys, I only use this concealer to do like spot correcting on like dried up pimples and stuff like that. Like, I never use this for my under eyes, but that's the one he chose, so I guess that's the one we're going with. I don't use it for everywhere because like it is very hydrating, but like, I don't know, it's difficult to work out sometimes, like to blend in, and it has no brightening effect, and it can be a little cakey from time to time. I just took a gouge out of that and I don't even know how that happened. Oh well. So normally, as of recently with concealer, I haven't been letting it sit, but because this is so hydrating, I do want to give it a minute just to kind of dry down before I go into it. So we'll go straight into brows.
Go with this one.
Thankfully, I don't have that many brow products and I like all the ones that I have. So he picked my Benefit Precisely My Brow. I am in shade 2.5. So good job, Tom. And who knows, like even as after he would pick something and I would shut the camera off in between what he was picking, I would say, oh my God, I never use this on its own. I never use this for that. And he said, well, you might like it. You're going to find out. And I said, well, that's fair enough. Because he was thinking like, this is why you got me to do it. Because if I were shopping my own stash, as I've done before, I would probably pick products that I know well, products that I know work, that I use all the time. That's kind of how I do my makeup a lot of the time. I think we all kind of get ourselves into a rut like that from time to time where you know, get stuck on the same foundation, the same palette. I've been stuck on the same eyebrow pencil for a while, my MAC one, which is my favorite one. So you kind of just neglect other parts of your collection, which is not a big deal other than the fact that I have a lot of makeup. So for me to neglect half my collection is kind of a waste. So now that my eyebrows are done, we'll go back and we will blend that out. It's actually not bad. It's not concealing as great underneath my eyes as, you know, a lot of my concealers would. And I kind of should have told him he could have picked more than one and then maybe he would have chosen like my NARS concealer too, and that would have helped us out. But, you know, we are where we are. So this is what we have. I am really quickly, I have a little bit of foundation left on that palette. I am just gonna go over my eyelids, and that's just because I'm cheating a little bit because I know which eyeshadow primer he picked and it wouldn't have been my first choice. So another thing that wouldn't have been my first choice, I said, I need you to pick a setting powder, and I was not very specific.
Go this one.
And not that I don't absolutely adore this setting powder, but this is my Laura Mercier Translucent Glow setting powder, and I tend to only really put this like on my cheekbones. I don't tend to put it underneath my eyes because it's so glowy and I don't really want that area popping, but you know. He went for a lot of very glowy things, like the bronzer he picked was super glowy. Oh my god. The blush he picked was glowy. The eyeshadow he picked had a lot of glitter, you know. I don't know, is that a thing with guys? Like, do guys really, really like... I don't know. Honestly, for a little while too, Tom was just picking stuff based off of the outside packaging. Like, I can't remember what it was that he picked without even opening it. Oh, it was the bronzer. He picked out that bronzer without even looking at it. Oh, this looks horrible. Oh, hopefully I can fix it. It's just, it's really bad. I was gonna say it's not really bad, but like, because this powder, it's really good for setting, but it also like catches the light everywhere. I've just made myself look kind of nuts. So hopefully we can fix it, maybe? I have no faith. I have no faith. This might look a hot mess. So for bronzer,
I'm on that one.
he picked my MAC Patrick Star bronzer because he likes red and he liked the packaging. This is like the glowiest, shimmeriest bronzer that I own. It's so glittery. But that's fine. It's not like we already have enough glow going on our face. We might as well just double it, triple it up, heck, why not? Oh, we're going, after we do this, it was one of his, like his best friend's wife is pregnant, and she had a virtual baby shower last weekend, I think, and unfortunately, because of all of this COVID stuff, my shipment from Amazon was delayed. So I just got her gift like right before the weekend, so we're gonna go tonight to go and drop it all off, and they get to see this radiant beauty. Oh, it's just gonna be great. All right, so that's done. Next we're gonna go with blush. So okay, have fun picking out a blush.
Jeez, it's a lot. All right, let's stick with the red theme. And go with this one.
Okay. Picked out of my NARS blush palette. He wanted this kind of reddish pink one, so okay, we will go with that. It's like glowy primer, glowy foundation, glowy setting powder, glowy bronzer, and a glowy brush. Blush. Just like that. So, okay. Next up, he picked a highlighter.
looks like a lipstick.
It is one that I use as a highlighter.
These are all different brands?
Yeah.
What about the ones back here?
Most of those are MAC, but there's a couple. You can pull it out if you really want to.
How do you get into this fucking thing? That one looks like you use it a lot. I can't even get into this thing. Oh, that's out. Can't get into it.
Do you want me to pull that out?
No, it's fine. It's Aladdin, that's for kids. Go this one.
And highlighters are supposed to be glowy, but he picked an interesting one. So he ended up picking my Make Up Your Mind Fame and Fortune highlighter, which is gorgeous, but it is like this really cool yellow. So I don't know how this is going to work with everything we've already got going on. We're going to see how it goes. Okay. Yep. Well, ain't that just the way she goes? That looks... I look kind of sick. You know what I mean? Like that yellow... This might be the last time that I ask Tom to pick my makeup for me. I don't know. I'm not... I just look like I've been like sweating all day and I've got like a really intense glow. I don't want to go out. Oh my god. Okay, whatever. We'll just roll. We're just gonna roll with it and keep going. I don't know, maybe this doesn't look as bad as I think it looks, but I think it looks really bad. So the next thing that I asked him to pick was some kind of an eyeshadow primer. Okay, pick out an eyeshadow base.
And that's these?
Yeah. Curious to see if you're gonna open any of them.
I can if you want. Why would...
Well, they're all different, right?
Oh, so it's not purple.
No, it's not purple.
Go this one.
And I have, you know, my paint pots, which are just matte and bare. And I have the original Shadow Potion primer, and I've got a NARS white primer. And doesn't he pick my Urban Decay Sin eyeshadow primer, which is awesome and gorgeous, but super, super shimmery. Like, you don't need a shadow over this, in my opinion. Oh my goodness. And I told him that. I was like, oh, I wouldn't have picked that one out. And he was like, well, that's just too bad, isn't it? So I want you guys to know that by the end of this, I didn't go back on anything. I used only products that he picked out. So when this turns out to be a hot mess, it's not entirely my fault. It's only partially my fault. Oh, so don't forget, once you pick it out, you have to pick out 4 or 5 shades you want me to use.
Okay.
Go ahead. Unless there are only 4 or 5 shades in the palette.
There's so many to choose, but I'm not getting into...
You can pull out as many as you want or as little as you want, and I'll just get through them. I'll put them all back.
No, I'm not getting into that. That's a shit show.
Is there something you're looking for in particular?
No. I'm seeing what...
I'm really curious to see which one you're gonna like be drawn towards the most.
Well, I can tell you right now, for simplicity purposes, I'm probably going to be
I more want to see what colors you're drawn to. Like once you finally open one you like.
Well, I don't know if I like any. I'm just... I don't know. I'm just trying to...
Get them out? Do you need assistance?
I don't bother getting into that.
It's okay, you can. Do you want me to take the sleeve off?
No, that's fine. You have way too many. Way too many. Well, they all pretty well look the same to me.
It's because you're drawn to all of the like neutral palettes. I guess if you really want more than one, I can do more than one. You just have to pick colors.
How about you just use this little guy and use every single color? Easy?
No.
Use every color.
Okay. Okay. For eyeshadow, as you guys would have seen, he was going through a lot of my bigger palettes. I really thought he was going to end up picking my Natasha Denona Sunset palette, but he ended up coming back to another MAC product. This is my MAC Patrick Starrr Oh Holy Eyes Eyeshadow ×6 palette that came out for the holidays, I think 2 years ago. And he said, let's make this easy, because I said, whatever palette you pick, I need you to pick like 4 or 5 or 6 shades out of it for me to do it with. And he said, well, I'll make it easier for you. Use this and use all of them. We'll make it work, but it's not really what I would call easy. So I'm going to zoom you guys in a little bit so we can get this done. Oh, geez. This is going to be brutal. Okay, so first things first, we'll take this kind of like light cream linen color. This is in Mama Star's Cookie. Sketchy. And I'm just going to take that all over the lid. Maybe it'll like neutralize some of that shimmer. No? Okay, whatever. Not really, but that's fine. That's fine. I'll just work with it. I'm going to go downstairs afterwards. I was thinking about filming his reaction to seeing this, but I'm not going to do that. I will just let you guys know how it went. And this is like, oh, settling so bad. My face is so shiny. Do you guys see this? I look like borderline metallic. I don't want to go out. I might have to take my makeup off and then redo it before we go and visit our friends. Okay, so next we're gonna go in with this like next lightest color. This is in She's Gravy. I assume that these are the color names. You're gonna have to bear with me, and I'm just gonna put that in the crease. Like, the thing is, I love this palette. I think the shades are gorgeous. I just don't know that I would use them like all. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know that I would normally use them all together. But hey, I wanted him to pick stuff that he was drawn towards, and I rarely ever use this palette, so that's fine. So that's looking whatever. Next, we're gonna take this matte shade, this kind of like gray purple shade. That is in Fa La 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 For Las, if anybody really cared. And I'm gonna just kind of put that also in the crease, but a little deeper and more on the outside. These mix really, actually, you know what, screw it, we're going all over. These mix really pretty together. I really like that effect. It's funny because this is like a gray, kind of tan, kind of like, you know what I mean? It kind of pulls a lot of colors, and I think it would do that depending on what you put it with. Like, if it was just going with something like this red, I think it would pull a little more gray. But because I'm putting it with like those warmer browns, it's picking up a little bit of brown, which is kind of nice. Maybe if I end up liking the eye look, I can just take my face makeup off and redo that. That seems less stressful. Let's get into this dark color here. So that is in Shady Santa. And I'm just going to put that in the outer corner. Kind of in a bit of a V. And I think we're going to buff that underneath as well. The thing is, this look wouldn't be so bad entirely if I hadn't had to use that glowy setting powder. I should have specified. Don't pick that one, pick a matte one. What can you do? All right, so now all we have are these two shimmery shades left. I did forget though that I wanted to put some of that dark color under my lid, so I will do that as well. I guess under my lid doesn't make sense. Under my, like on my lower lash line is the word I was looking for. I did tell him, as you'll see later, that he could pick out any colored liner he wanted, but he chose not to, so we're going with this. All right, now we're into the shimmer. So I think what we're gonna have to do is do mostly that purple shimmer. Kind of like, I don't know, we'll see how this goes. Like more on the outer part and into most of the lid. Like that, and then we'll put the golden one kind of more on the inside. I just wish that this palette had like a really light shimmer. Oh God, what did I do? We're gonna have to touch that up. There we go. Oh, no, made it worse. That's fine. Well, whatever. What can you do? Just, have you guys noticed that I'm having a rough time with this today? This is not going as like smoothly as I really was hoping. So I'm not cheating. I'm using some of that concealer and I'm just touching up around my eye where I kind of screwed it up. There we go. That's better. Do a little here too because I went a little out where I wanted to. Alright, well, whatever. It is what it is, I suppose. Anyway, so now we're going to take that like super dark gold and kind of go into the rest of the eye. You know what? I'm going to like, no, I'm not going to cheat. I was going to say I'm going to cheat and put that highlighter as an inner corner color, but he said use all these colors on my eyes. So we'll just put that dark. Now these actually, I'm not mad about how my eyes look. To be completely honest, I think that's kind of cool. I kind of like that like burgundy and gold together. I think it's actually really pretty. So we got one part right. So next up, I asked him to pick out a line. So pick out an eyeliner, at least pick one of these, but if you want one of these, you can pick one too.
What do you mean, at least one of any of these?
Yeah.
This is what, eyeliner?
Yeah. It just pulls off on.
This one.
Liner, he ended up just going with my Too Faced Better Than Sex liner. I don't know for any particular reason, but this is the one we got, so that's fine. Again, I was a little worried he might pick out the brown liner. Not that that's a problem, but just like, I don't know. He was throwing me for a real curveball with most things he picked, so... And I also just remembered that he picked a red lipstick, which is gonna look really funny with these eyes, I think. But it is a moisturizing lipstick, so that's nice. All right, so we've got liner, time for lashes. You can hear your phone going off.
Oh, it's the same on the same one?
No, all the brushes are different. So they all do different things.
Oh, that's kind of funny. Oh no, use this one.
Okay. For mascara, he picked my MAC 3D Black. I don't know which kind of mascara this is. I don't even know that they make this anymore. It came out, like, I got it with their Christmas collection. I think he just picked it because he thought the packaging was weird. But it's kind of cool. It's got like a really long, straight, I think this is like a silicone brush. It's got some like grabby bristles on it. I think this is an extra dimension or something like that. That might be what kind of mascara this is. And I do really like it. It's really good at, like, I hope you guys can see, like, lengthening and separating your lashes. Doesn't do, oh, I just whipped myself in the face with the brush. It doesn't do much in a sense of, like, curling your lashes, but it might if I, like, tried to grab at them, but I'm not going to do that because we're just going to screw up everything. So that's that. So it's only about 2 or 3 more things we got to get through here. So the next thing we're going to do is lips. So I said, pick out a lipstick, and he kind of started going through it and was just like, show me where the reds are. And I said, okay. So I pointed out a few, and he ended up, so last thing, we just need, oh, this isn't the last thing. Second to last thing, lipstick. And or lip gloss, depending on what you so choose.
Jeez, there's like...
Yeah, I have more lipsticks than anything else.
These are liners?
Yeah.
You need to use those?
You don't need to use them, but you can use them.
What do they do? And why do you need them?
So they put a line around your lips, and then they just keep... When I wear them, I fill my whole lip in and then put a lipstick over top. That way, as lipstick wears, the liner normally kind of is enough to make it so you don't have to reapply so often. Like I said, you don't have to pick one of those if you want to pick something else.
Need a red color.
You want a red?
Mm-hmm. Where's the red? I don't know. I'm not going to go through all these.
Okay, well, do you want me to pull out a bunch of reds and you can pick?
Just point to one.
Well, you want a MAC red?
I don't care.
You're not making it any easier on me. That's not red.
No.
There's not the one I pointed at.
I like this one.
Okay.
Go that one. Guess that won't be them. This one might be. You don't really need to have one of these, right?
I don't need to have one, no.
That's not the right color, is it? Does it? Do they have to match?
They don't have to. It can be darker or lighter. It would just make an interesting effect.
Alright, so then maybe go a little bit lighter then, so something like this. Yeah.
Okay. Picking this one. So this is one of the Love Me lipsticks from MAC. This is an E for Effortless. It's like a really pretty kind of dark red. And then I said, well, do you want to pick a lip liner? And he said, yeah, does it have to match? And I said, no, it doesn't need to match exactly. And so he picked my Trust in Red. So this one is just a little bit, like I'm hoping you guys can see, more of a bright red than the lipstick really is. But honestly, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. So we'll put this on first. Now, if you guys have never seen me put lip liner on before, I line my lips and then I also fill my lips. Just holds on to the lipstick a little bit better that way, I find. So there's that, and then we'll go in with the lipstick. Like I said, this is E for Effortless. It's gorgeous. kind of screwed it up. I was trying to go over my lip line. Okay, so I just adjusted that. I just honestly took the pencil and kind of dragged where I wanted fixed. That is one nice thing about this particular lipstick, is that it's so fluid that it is really easy to fix. It doesn't completely matte down or dry down, so that's good. And the last thing that he picked for setting spray. Last thing, we need setting spray.
Exactly, setting spray does what?
Sets your makeup. Just keeps it from moving. That's not setting spray.
Well, you pointed to it.
No, I pointed to these four. And then the four.
These have things like sparkles on them or something?
So the one on the end does, and then this one does, and then those are all setting sprays too, those four.
Go with this one.
Okay. Because we didn't already have enough glow and sparkle going on our face, and it's not like he could have picked the gold one to at least go with everything else. He picked my MAC Fix Plus Pink Light. So I don't know if you've ever used these before, but they are so glittery. I only use them for special occasions, but whatever. So ready? Here we go. Oh yeah. So that actually, did that take it down a little bit? I don't know, in different lights it hits me in different ways, where some lights it's like, wow, that is so golden, glowy, intense, too much, and other times I'm like, it's not really that bad. So how did he do for picking? He did what he could. He did a pretty good job. He wasn't super like brand specific. He doesn't know much about the different brands, to be completely honest. He kind of just went through and I guess picked, I guess how really any guy that didn't know anything about makeup, or any girl who didn't know anything about makeup, he kind of went off the packaging, and eventually when I told him he could start opening things, he started going off of the colors and just tried to make it as simple and easy as possible for me. So overall, it's okay. I wouldn't have put so much glowy stuff together. I don't love the way that the Mercier glow powder like particularly settles in some areas, because you know, the foundation itself, the Luminous Silk foundation, I do find a little heavy and it settles in some areas. So when you're setting it with this, it kind of just clings to those areas and really amplifies it a lot. So that's not the most ideal of situations, but it's okay. Other than that, this didn't end up doing too bad covering my dark circles. Again, it's not the one I would have chosen, but whatever. Other than that, I mean, I don't know, it looks okay. I ended up really liking the eyeshadow. I don't know if I like the eye and lip together, but there it is. This is what we get. I'm gonna go and show Tom what he did to my face. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Also, it might already be up on my channel, but I'm going to start putting up like questions asking for you guys to shop my stash. So basically I'm gonna put, you know, unfortunately the polls will only let you put so many options in, so I don't really want to do that. I kind of want to say pick a primer and then I'll list out all my primers and you guys can just comment and pick which one you want. Pick a palette, and I probably won't list them all because I have a lot, but if you guys go back through my collection video and just start naming them off, we're gonna do that, and I'm gonna try and pick the ones that are most requested and do a viewers shop my stash. I think that that would be really, really fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun. Comment down below how you think he did. Am I being too critical? Does this work together, or is this too glowy? Feel free to let me know down below. If you're not already and you would like to be, then click the subscribe button. I would really appreciate it, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye. Hey guys, so quick update. Obviously I'm not sitting in my chair, I'm sitting in front of the window because I'm just packing up some of my stuff right now. So I just went and showed Tom and told him that I thought it looked really bad and really glowy and that it was settling weird, and he basically said nobody else would see that but you, and that's just because you're looking for it. So he said that he thought it looked good, so there we go.